loves, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on my top favorite eyeshadow palettes. These are going to be all high-end. I know I normally don't incorporate a ton of high-end products on my channel, but I figured I'd do it because I do have a ton of favorite things and I want to share with you guys my favorite eyeshadows because I don't have a video specifically on eyeshadows, and I think it's always fun to do drugstore, but it's even more fun to do high-end videos because you guys can see like my thoughts on things that I think are worth the splurge. So I hope you enjoy the video and let's start talking about some shadows. Okay, so the first palette I have is my favorite out of my entire collection. I've mentioned this before, but I just cannot get enough of this, and there's just not really a palette that I've owned besides this one that really just meets the standards. So this is the Lorac Pro Palette, the original. This is my everything. I love this palette, everything about it. I like the packaging. I like how thin it is because it makes it really easy if you're traveling or maybe if you're in school or something and you just want a really good palette for every day. So this is what it looks like. I adore these colors. I love how there's a variety of mattes and shimmers. So you have 8 matte eyeshadows on the top and 8 shimmer on the bottom, which is a really, really good thing because it's really hard to find palettes that have a variety like that. And you also see that there's a ton of neutrals on this side, and then as you get deeper into the palette, you see the more deeper colors, which is perfect for fall, for the holidays. The neutral colors are obviously perfect for every single day. And I love the pigmentation of the matte eyeshadows. Sometimes I find matte eyeshadows to be very powdery and the pigmentation just isn't there, but you can see that those are amazing. And all of these eyeshadows, the mattes and the shimmers, are very easy to work with. I'm going to swatch some of the shimmers, and I will have swatches of all the colors on my arm, but this is what some of the shimmers look like. So you really are getting your money's worth. This retails for $48, which seems excessive for a palette, but the shadows will last you forever. You get 16 eyeshadows, so you get more than in other palettes. So I think it's a really good deal. The next palette is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. When I first got this, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do because the colors are honestly very neutral and they don't look like anything special, but I really, really love it. And this smells just like milk chocolate, like just like a chocolate bar. It's amazing. So the one downside to this is that it does not come with the eyeshadow names on it. So when I first got my palette, what I did was I took the plastic with all the names and I just taped it at the top so that whenever I'm doing makeup tutorials and stuff, I can tell you guys the names of the shadows because I think it just makes it easier to, you know, follow along with me when I'm doing makeup tutorials. But this is what it looks like. So again, the colors don't look like anything special, but when you're actually working with them and creating looks, I think this is an essential to have in your collection. So I'll swatch a few of them for you so you can see the color payoff. So that is what they look like. Again, they're super buttery and pigmented. I never have issues with these like blending or anything like that or like fading throughout the day. So this is amazing. Like, look at that. This retails, I want to say, for $50 or so, but I'll leave the exact prices below if you guys are interested. I got this at Sephora. You can get it at Sephora or Ulta or of course online. So that is crazy to me. Like, I can't with these. I never have an issue with any of the shadows that I'm talking about, like fading throughout the day or anything. They're so long wearing. I do always use primer though. I always recommend using some sort of base, whether it's concealer or primer, because it just makes your eyeshadow last longer and it also helps with the pigmentation. I love that one. I do not own the second one because I honestly don't feel like I need it. I didn't hear too many good reviews about that one either, but if it were up to me, I would definitely choose the first one just because the colors are more appealing to me personally than the second one. But let me know your thoughts on the second one if you guys own the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. Alright, next I wanted to mention the Anastasia palettes. I have 2 that obviously are no longer available because they come out with new palettes every few months. They're all limited edition, which is good and bad in a way, but I wanted to mention these because I love these little palettes that they come out with. The quality is amazing, and these palettes are only $28, which I think is a good deal because you get 10 eyeshadows. I mean, usually if you buy a single eyeshadow, it'll be like $6 to $10 anyway, so it's like you're getting amazing quality eyeshadows for a really good price in my opinion. And I love the packaging. They're all different, which I love. So I think right now the palette that's out by Anastasia is the self-made palette. I obviously don't have it. I'm looking into getting it, but I just love how unique all of the packaging are of each of the palettes. So this is the Amrezy palette, and then this is the Artist palette. But I'm just going to show you guys the pigmentation of them. I know that the eyeshadows are not available, but I want to show you guys how good quality they are. So this is what they look like. I believe you can get these shadows like individually as well, and I just love how actually Anastasia comes out with different palettes because it kind of suits everyone's needs. And then this Artist palette is a fun palette, which I loved for the summertime for pops of color. It's very unique, so I think all of their palettes are unique and definitely worth the try. So I love them. Alrighty, moving right along. The next palette I want to mention is the Lorac Pro To Go palette. I'm not sponsored by Lorac. I just really genuinely love their eyeshadows, and I think the quality is definitely the best that I own in my entire collection. Like, these eyeshadows are everything. So this is the Lorac Pro To Go palette. So it has like very similar packaging to the original, except this one's just a little bit like fatter and like chubbier and thicker, but this is what it looks like. So this palette is very interesting, and I think it's amazing because you kind of have everything that you're gonna need for an eye look and even for your face. So you have 4 eyeshadows right here, which are all amazing quality. They're so buttery. Like, look at that. That's one swipe. It's crazy. And then you have 2 highlighter colors. So these highlighter colors can be good for your face, or they can be used as eyeshadows, like in the inner corner, all over the lid, on the brow bone, anything. So they're so versatile. Then on the other side, you also have blushes, 2 blushes, and a bronzer, which I think is very unique. You usually don't really see that in a palette, to have everything, and I love it. These are very pigmented and easy to blend as well. They look beautiful on the skin. I have used this palette in the summertime. I've used it when I'm pale, so it looks really good, you know, on different skin tones, because I can get really dark in the summer and then I get really pale when in the winter time. So I definitely recommend this palette, because I think if you're traveling or if you're in school and you just want like a good everyday palette, this is really good. I know you're probably thinking, how is that everyday? But what you could do, like if you're on the go, take like this medium tone brown shade, pop that in the crease, take this little shimmery color, put that right on the brow bone in the inner corner, add some mascara, put some bronzer on, a little bit of blush, and you're out the door and you look beautiful and put together. So I just love how it's so compact and everything is just in here, perfect, ready to go. Pro To Go. Last but not least, I had to mention these oldie but goodies, the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about these anymore, and I love these palettes. I wish that people did like more tutorials with them and stuff, because I adore them. And if you guys want me to do more tutorials with these, let me know if you own them or not. But if you would have asked me a few years ago which palette was your favorite and like which one would you prefer, I would have said the Naked 2, because I used to be obsessed with cool tone eyeshadows. But now I would say the original Naked, because of the warm tone shades. So let's start with this one. So these are what the eyeshadows themselves look like. They're very warm, but they're neutral, and I love shimmer shades personally. So I know that there's only 2 matte colors, but personally I love like all the shimmer going on in here. I think it's amazing, and I don't mind it. I know some people don't like it, but it's all about personal preference. So that's what they look like. They're very pigmented, and the quality is like on point. So if it were up to me, I would just say to you guys, pick the one where you feel like the colors will suit your needs best. So this one you can see is more warm, whereas the Naked 2 palette is a cool tone palette. You have black, and like you have like this charcoaly gray purple shade. You have like one warm tone shade, which is this brown color, which I love, but you can just see it's just a very neutral cool tone palette. So I like this a lot for maybe going out or for prom. I used this for prom like 2 years in a row, and I love it. So again, the pigmentation is there, but I would say that you just can't go wrong with the colors in here. You have a good mix of neutrals, and then you have some dark shades as well. So I love these. Alright guys, so those are my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below of some of your holy grail high-end eyeshadow palettes, or let me know of some other palettes that like I need to try that are worth the splurge. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this one, and I will see you in a few days in my next video. Bye! Mwah.